Your book wasn't meant to sit on a shelf. It was meant to lead someone somewhere, someplace cool, someplace powerful, someplace that they're meant to go, that you know how to help them get there. And today is the day we're going to look at that. Hi, my name's Steve Kidd. I am a third generation minister, international best-selling author of 40 books and counting. Over the course of the last 40 years in business, I've had the amazing privilege of working with more than 5,000 authors everywhere in the process, from writing, publishing, marketing their books to bestseller, and everything that goes along with that. But more than that has been, just a really cool ability to help people really share who they are, what they do, what they're meant to do, and what they really want to help people with the world. I've worked with doctors and lawyers, nurses, multi-billionaires, but I've also worked with stay-at-home moms and brand new startup companies. I've had the really, really great privilege of working with so many just incredibly amazing people doing the powerful things that they're meant to do in this world. But here's the truth. Here's the thing that whether you've worked with me or you've worked with somebody else, that for so long has not been being shared. And that's the truth, that your book isn't meant to do, like my book's doing right now. It's not just meant to sit here so that you can hold it up and go, look at my book. That's exciting. Don't get me wrong. I love it every time a new book comes out. And although I don't end up buying all of them, I really should. I need to have this bookshelf behind me that has all of them now, don't I? Um, I saw one author that when they were at about 20 books, they had a big stack of them, and that was kind of their picture that they sent out with people. Absolutely, definitely, all of those kind of things. But though those feel really good for us, that's not why you wrote the book, and that's not what it's intended to do. You wrote it with somebody specific in mind. Now, that somebody may have even just been something you wish you had been told last week, last month, 10 years ago. Um, and that's fine too. But that is something that someone really, truly needs to hear. And you really need to take that and do the things with it that only you can do. You're the only person who can show up in this world and be you. Live your life. Be the victor in your life. I've said it before, I'll say it again. When it comes to the end of the race of your life, hey, Connor, glad to have you here with us. When it comes to the end of the race of your life, and the tape gets broken and a winner is declared, you are the one that's going to win the race of your life. And you also get to declare and decide how great of a victory it can be. Vicus, glad to have you here with us. I'm feeling good. I hope you're feeling good too. The Himalayas, that's really cool. Um, Bet it's even colder there than it is here, although it's in the 60s today, so I'm not complaining. Um, you know, we wrote that book. We had a reason for it. It was something that was weighing on our heart, a story we really wanted to tell. Maybe it was even specifically written for somebody. Sometimes it was written for things that you really wish that person knew. Sometimes it was written for people that you really truly knew you could help. Both ways, it was written for a purpose. And when that book is given direction, that becomes momentum. But when it's directionless, when it doesn't have a marketing plan for it, you don't know exactly, this is what I'm going to do this week, this month, this year with the book, it just kind of really becomes this another emotional weight in your life. And Alfred, glad to have you here with us. Your book launches. And as my book, I'll hold it up again because I'm quite proud of it. As my book says, bestseller is only the beginning. Bestseller is a day one launch strategy. First couple of days launch strategy. Your book with the right SEO, the right keywords, categories, all that kind of stuff, and the right promotion will make it on the bestseller list when it's launched. done it 5,000 times with 100% success. We guarantee it. It's a money back guarantee. If your book hasn't ever hit the bestseller list, let's talk. There are definitely things we can do with it. Whether your book is traditionally published or your book is, self-published, we've got programs for you. There's some nuances to it. There's some things that need to be done, and whatever level of control. When you self-publish the book, you have more control over the keywords, categories, descriptions, which makes the SEO better for it. But either way, we absolutely can do it. Yes, you do want to align in life with the purpose that you're made for. Going back to what I was saying just a minute ago, you're going to win that race of your life. Decide how cool it's going to be. Decide that when you're at the end of your life, looking back across everything you've done, that you're blown away. That you absolutely are just kind of in awe of your own life. I love it when I write something good. Okay. And not everything that I've written is good. Not everything that I've written has actually ever even made it out to the market. But I can always tell when what I'm writing is resonating with exactly what I need to do, because it impacts me. Even though I've read it, I wrote it, I've read it, I've been through the whole editorial process. I've had to, sometimes even fight through with editors and things like that. When you go back and you look at it and you're like, wow, that really resonates. Or, even, it's an emotional situation you're writing about and it, brings tears to your eyes, or it's funny and it makes you laugh. Uh, um, and so I want you to understand positioning for that powerful, amazing, cool book that you wrote. It matters. It's what you absolutely need to do with what you've written. You need a plan. You need a program. I was talking to, my good friend Willie J, who is going to be on live with me again here in a day or two. It may even be tomorrow. Some new exciting stuff happening that we want to share with you. And we were talking specifically about, both about a client that we have that has a book and music that they do. And it applies in both sections, because whether you're talking about a book or a song, single or the whole album, the more you promote it, the more you need to promote it. The more success it gets, the more that it's crying for more exposure, more promotion. Um, you really absolutely want to have a plan. Now you can have that plan, and we can schedule that plan out as much as a year in advance so that it just consistently goes. But as you build, as you hit milestones, okay, you're going to have, let's just talk some really little things. Okay. Your book comes out. The next thing you absolutely positively and ongoingly, you want to keep this up. You want to have reviews. Reviews are powerful. They're going to make massive amounts of difference. Okay. They are going to be literally the difference between visibility and especially in that know, like, and trust factor. Because people can look at what other people have said about it and they can be like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, this is somebody I want to get to know. Or, ooh, not so much, right? You need those reviews, okay? But when your book first comes out, okay, it's brand new baby book. Like you said, bestsellers at the beginning, we get it on the bestseller list. But even after it hits the bestseller list, there are typically, normally Amazon's going to take 2 days to a week. It's usually about 2 to 4 days, but it could be as much as a week before the reviews post. And that's interesting too, to see how Amazon messes with it every once in a while. We've been having a real thing lately. Amazon's been going through, and I don't know, they've got somebody that's auditing reviews or something like that. But both a couple of my books as well as several others of my clients, they lost a couple of reviews in this last couple of weeks, and that's okay. It happens. But your brand new baby book, you want it to get those reviews. The first milestone is 10. There's something magical on Amazon. Don't ask me what. I can tell you the what happens. I can't really tell you why. I don't know. I haven't actually physically been inside of Amazon's you know, platform to be able to look at the code. I know some code writers that wrote the kernel of the basic concept of the code, but you know, that was really actually before Amazon even existed. That code kernel was originally written. Um, you know, and the whole concept behind that is that you hit that 10 and it opens up a door for you. It moves you to the place. Yes, Vickers, I am a pastor. I'm a third generation minister, like I said at the beginning of the thing. It opens up the doors and it really allows you know, your book to have the potential of going viral. If you're going to do any ads, and I very strongly recommend against ads in almost every case. There's some other options we can do with that, but if you're going to run ads, you need those. You know, you need those 10 reviews to ever even have your ad show up. If you don't have the 10 reviews and you're spending money, you're literally just giving money to Amazon for free. Okay, and we've seen that happen over and over and over again. You know, and so you've got the 10 reviews, and that opens something up. There's another milestone that hits when you get to 100 reviews, and that does some cool things. And so you want to have this clear path for how do you go from no reviews to 10 reviews, from 10 reviews to 100 reviews, from 100 reviews to 1,000 reviews. Okay, because I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I'm here sharing something specific. I'm not really here to have an interactive conversation. I'm glad that you're here, but I'm not really here to, you know, comment back and forth on you know, on that kind of thing. If you want to message me on Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube, I'd be glad to have a conversation with you. But I do really want people to be able to focus on our whole concept here today. And that's your book needs to lead somewhere. You really, truly need that connection and that consistency that comes from that clear messaging. Does that make sense? You really want to make sure that now that you put out this powerful book, that you have a clear, consistent way that you're going to connect with people. On and on and on. You want to have that you know, you really want to have that be in place, and then go for it. We looked yesterday, even it was, at some of the books, and you saw some of them are still doing really amazingly great things. And Willie's book that we looked at yesterday, that had, you know, has hit number one a couple of times now. It had dropped back down to, I don't know, whatever it was, number 19, I want to say it was. And again this morning, because we have a promotion continuing to go, it popped back up to number one. And when you continue doing that marketing, you're going to continue seeing that. And eventually you have a book like my book that I've held up a couple of times, you know, where it's staying in the top 10 consistently, because A, I'm consistently marketing it, and because B, it begins to get its own traction. Those are the kind of things you want to do. You need a plan, you need a direction and a plan to go with that direction, and then you need to execute. Now, for some of us, you know, what we need to do is we need to figure out, how are we going to connect? Where is the disconnect in the launch of our book, or what we're currently doing in marketing, or those kind of things? How can we really, truly make that work? And I'd love to be able to talk to you about how to really connect, how to move from disconnected to really connected with your book. You can drop your link down below in the comments and put the link to your book. I'd be glad to take a look at it and give you some just, you know, real quick basic feedback in there. Or you can go to askstevekid.com and hop on my schedule. And I'm glad to talk with you. I want to show you the way that you can connect. I want to even tell you right up front, you need those reviews and they need to be consistent. Um, because a book that leads creates momentum. A book that sits and waits, all it does is create frustration. And I want you to lead the crowd, to be the you that you're meant to be in this world. Do all the things that you're meant to do. On Saturday, as I've been telling you all week, we're going to be long live. We're going to go about 45 minutes. I'm going to just literally do the practice of the talk that I'm doing in Provo, Utah. If you'd like a free ticket, I do have a couple of free tickets available for people that can meet the March 12th, 13th, and 14th at the Art of Expansion event. I'd love to have you there. Let me know if you'd like one of those. And in the meantime, I hope you're happy, safe, warm, and loved. And then until we're together again next time, I hope you have a really, really great week.